Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin just before the weekly candle close. I mean, still around about 4 hours until we get the weekly candle closed, but usually what we've seen, at least in the last few weeks, was quite a bit of volatility either just before the weekly candle close or just after that, sort of in the, in and around midnight. There was quite a bit of volatility going on, and that was always quite interesting in the last few weeks. So let's take a look at what the market is doing actually at the moment. So Bitcoin back above 30K. So we've seen here in the last few days that the market is really fighting around that 30K level. I think that was expected, that the 30K level is sort of an important region, and the market now needs to decide, is the low in or not? As you know, my view is that there will be another dip. I don't think we have seen that massive capitulation yet. I think people are still fairly bullish, yeah, and you need that washout, you need that final washout where even the last person, or even the strongest diamond hands start to doubt it a little bit, and only then I think the low is in. I don't think we've seen it yet. I think we have a fear and greed index of around 10 today. That can still go a little bit lower, and Bitcoin, as I said, just above 30K. Some of the altcoins nicely recovering, ADA especially, Solana as well. They move really well together at the moment. This is quite interesting. Really correlated at the moment, Cardano and Solana. But let's take a look at Bitcoin app before the weekly candle close, and let's take a look here at the Cme Gap. So Cme Gap, where is it? 29.7K. So there isn't really a lot of a gap at the moment. Yeah, it's only $500 difference. I don't think it will make a major difference. That would normally indicate that the price is going to drop slightly either today or tomorrow, because normally the prices are drawn towards the CME closing price from Friday. So that could happen here in the next few hours when the maybe around the weekly candle close or tomorrow. But this is basically anyway that price within the daily volatility of Bitcoin at the moment. So before we start, or maybe, where are we? Obviously a lot of new viewers. So my view is here on the Elliott Wave count that we've had our wave 1 here. We are currently in a wave 2. That is also the case pretty much for all altcoins that are currently covered on this channel, and there are quite a lot of altcoins. Very similar wave count across the board. And after that wave 1, we had here this wave A, B, C, which is forming this wave 2. Target area for the end of the correction between 20 and 29K. That's been my view since November. After we started here that downturn, yeah, there was an invalidation point around the 55K mark. And after that, I started to follow here this as a primary scenario that we will get into this target area. And this week was a very important week for myself, for the crypto market, because we finally reached that area. It was brutal. It took a long time, continuing to focus on that area. And now what we can see, a lot of the people who said all the time the low is already in, here, they now suddenly turn around and say we will drop even lower. Yeah, we will drop down even lower. And is that even possible? My view is yes, of course it's possible. It is just, for me at the moment, not the most likely scenario. Someone asked me, can you take a look at what would that mean from an Elliott Wave point of view? And now an alternative Elliott Wave count would be, and I don't really like that one, but it is certainly possible, would be that we had here somewhere a wave 1 here. This was a wave 2. This here was a wave 3, a massively extended wave 3. This here on a way down was a wave 4. This here was a wave 5. With this, we completed the overall cycle. Yeah, we completed the overall cycle. And when we then draw the Fibonacci levels, we will need to, or actually possibly, one sec. First of all, we would need to draw them all the way up to the high of the wave 5. But I think we need to actually start a bit lower here with the fibs, because we could even count that as a 1, 2, 1, 2, then here 3. So that is an explanation then for why this is an extended wave 3. But anyway, this would take us really here somewhere into the region, and I showed it in the member live stream today. This is how you could make it work also from an Elliott Wave point of view, that we reached here a wave 5, that this is the end of an overall cycle, and then here with a target area, you would have space all the way down to around 7 to 8K. this would be that more bearish outcome, after which we then here would have a space to turn around. Now, a lot of altcoins would in that scenario really get to really low levels, really low, yeah. And Bitcoin also obviously around about the 10K area maybe, or in the best case 15K, I would say. So this is something that we need to be aware of, absolutely, yeah. This is something we need to be aware of. And from an Elliott Wave point of view, this is how you could make it work. Now, I personally don't like it that much because the wave 4 came down quite strongly. On the other hand, typically when the wave 2 is quite shallow, the wave 4 is quite strong. That would actually be confirming that scenario. What would not work out in that way is that most altcoins certainly would not fit into this wave structure. So the wave count for altcoins would be different. For most altcoins, I would certainly see a wave 2 here. For Bitcoin, it would here, well, all of this would then have been a larger wave 1 possibly, yeah, and this is the overall wave 2, but started here in this ABC, and we could come down significantly lower, yeah. But there is, at the moment, it might make sense to be aware of this scenario, yeah, just to be not surprised should we really drop down to 15K or even 8K. But at the moment, everything is still in order with this scenario here. I mean, what would be in, what sort of on the chart would be in favor of this scenario, of this more bearish scenario? Well, certainly that an expanded flat pattern, well, no, an expanded flat isn't really rare, but what is rare is, well, that you have this overshooting wave B. It doesn't happen very often. Well, in a sense then, yes, the expanded flat is also rare, but if you have an overshooting wave B, then the expanded flat is the most likely pattern that is going to play out. What means expanded flat? Expanded flat means that here in this ABC correction, where the all-time high was actually part of the corrective wave, yeah, that this overshooting wave B was part of the correction, and in an expanded flat, you then usually make a lower low compared to the wave A. And when you make such an overshooting wave B, then the expanded flat is the most likely pattern. But generally an overshooting wave B is fairly rare, and therefore actually this could then obviously in the alternative wave count just be a wave 5 here, and we're coming down. The reason why I haven't had this really on the chart before, I think I mentioned it before 1 or 2 times, but the reason is that it didn't really make an immediate difference to the scenario. In both scenarios we expected a strong move down, and I don't really want to confuse you with too many scenarios here. So yeah, you could call this actually an alternative scenario, that we could drop even lower than that. Certainly possible. I personally don't see it yet. We are still sort of in this primary expectation, in this primary scenario, without a problem. And to be fair, both scenarios would actually be, you can't say, right, this is an invalidation point for one, because they are sort of fluid. Yeah, the target area from one scenario basically morphs into the target area for the other one. So anywhere in here, we have to say, could then be the low. Yeah, somewhere between 29K and 8K. Of course, it's a huge target area, and therefore I'm currently going to stick here to my stick with my current primary expectation that here somewhere between 20 and 29K we are going to turn around. So that obviously took too long already here to describe that. Just let's take a look at briefly at the current short term here. And in the previous video already I showed you here this triangle pattern. I think we haven't had a decision yet. Currently looking a little bit like we are breaking out of this triangle. Yes, it is looking like it. Looking like that 1 hour candle already closed above it, seems to have had a retest already here a little bit, and that is certainly good. What we need to do in the next step is to move above the previous rejection point here at 30.5K. Then we can move all the way up to 31K. But from an Elliott Wave point of view, what I told you could be that this wave 4 could certainly be complete. It could be complete. At the moment it's here. Yeah. If this current move up, if we move higher than 31K, then that wave 4 will certainly move here, because we could with that wave 4 move anywhere or finish this wave 4 up anyway in this target area located here between 29.5K and 34.3K. Anywhere in here, this is based on Fibonacci retracement levels, the wave 4 could finish and then would turn down. Maybe the wave 4 is already finished, can't say that for sure. can't say it. We've got a nice 3-wave move here, A, B, C. That could finish off that wave 4, and we could already be in the wave down in the 5th wave, where we move in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when this wave is complete, we are finishing off 4 main waves. We've got the larger wave 2 of the overall correction, a wave C, which is part of that wave 2. We've got that wave 5, which is part of the wave C, and that wave 5, part of the other wave 5. So yeah, looking interesting. This wave 2 would be invalidated above 31k. It could theoretically go all the way up to 31k, and we could already start a downtrend here. That is possible until 31k. If we move above that, this one here would be invalidated, and we would then go up in a wave 4. Yeah, still higher. And wave 4 will get much less likely above 34.3k. Generally, indicator-wise, looking here on the this is the medium term 4-day chart, still very low. Let's take a look at the 1-day chart. Also here on the 1-day, we don't really see that recovery yet. Yeah, still a massive short signal on the ADX. The RSI is still very low. The MACD is slightly recovering, yes, and but still very early. Still very early. So here we could get a buy signal on the 4-hour. On the MACD here, where we could cross the 0 line soon. The RSI on the 4-hour is moving above 50, so definitely the uptrend is sort of increasing. Yeah, but what is important now is to move first of all above the previous rejection point at 30.5 and then 31k. Then in the next move, we could move all the way up here to the 32.6k level and then to 34.3. These would be the next resistance levels. Yeah, from an RSI point of view, you can see the trend is increasing actually. Yeah, okay, so short-term upside definitely possible. I just told you the resistance levels that we need to get above to make that work. On a daily, yeah, we need to see a little bit more. And when, however, or if those positive signals now from the shorter time frames transform or move over onto the daily, for example, yes, this could give space for a little bit either for an extended recovery, yeah, or for already the new wave to the all-time high. But I find that very, very unlikely at the moment. And at the moment is really still a lot of movement in the space here, a lot of volatility generally. Good that it calmed down a little bit now, but we need really to closely observe the prices now, because unexpected things happen at the moment, and we don't want to miss out on what is going to happen here in the crypto market. So of course here you will find updates every day. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.